Because especially like as a father for a son, like I had my daughter. Maybe it's because she's only 2 and she's still growing, but as Nehemiah's 5 and he's getting older and becoming more independent, and I'm wanting him to be a man of, I'm trying to teach him how to be a man who is responsible, takes care of what he needs to take care of, but also vulnerable enough to receive love.
Yeah.
That's a hard balance to
Yeah.
for me to give to him, because there's times where I feel like I need to be stern with him. I need to make sure that I look him in the eye and I say, you can't do this and this is why.
Yep.
But then how, like, then trying to, in that same conversation, say, like, no matter what, like, I still love you.
Yeah.
And that's a really hard thing for me to do, because I feel like it's like I'm beating him up, but I'm trying to hug him at the same time. And it's a hard tug and pull. It's a tug and pull at my heart, because I don't know if I'm ultimately, you don't know in the season of what you're doing if you're doing it right or not.
Yes. Well, uh, all I can tell you at this point, from where I'm at, when
Tell
I
me it
would,
gets easier.
oh, well, this is how it gets easier, Jonathan. It's you continuing to grow as a man after God's own heart.
Hmm.
All right, because you then are going to be walking in step with the Holy Spirit, with your son. Just as your love for your wife is going to continue to grow, you're going to learn more and more how to make her heart sing.
Hmm.
You're going to know more and more how to avoid those words of death and to impart those words of life. You're going to be more sensitive uh, to how you occupy your time, and want to occupy your time in a way that affects, in a good way, your son and your daughter and your wife. The best thing you're going to do for that sweet woman that you're married to is to just love her kids with the love of God.
Mm.
And it's going to be as simple as catching those passions. What lights them up? What lights your little girl up? Well, let's start letting those things light Jonathan up.
Mm.
And you'll be amazed at the conversations that are to be had with your kids when they're grown-ups. You'll find out what were those great times. One of the best times my boys ever had was when I took them to a big WrestleMania type event, pro wrestling,
Yep.
in Chicago. And The Rock wasn't the Rock that we have today,
Yeah.
but he was a superstar.
Yeah.
And we had Steve Austin. What did they call him? Stone
Stone
something.
Cold Steve Austin.
That, yeah. And so I got ringside, and I got backstage.
Wow.
I got the whole spiel
You got the
for those
VIP package.
boys. Everything. Yes, and pictures, you name it. And my boys to this day, 42, almost 37, they said that might have been the best day of our life.
Isn't it funny that, like, we can't, both in our own lives, but in our kids' lives too, we can't be selective on what they remember.
Oh, no, yeah, and it'll surprise you.
Mm.
There'll be some things that completely will surprise you.
I mean, it's already amazing to see the conversations we have with Nehemiah at 5. But it's one of those things where I'm excited for those days to come when he is older and we're able to have more in-depth more in-depth moments with one another, and my daughter too, and for my wife to have those with the kids as well, and us as a family too. But I'm also trying to be very mindful of living in the present with them, because I know that from all those things that people say, they grow up fast. It's very hard to be present when there's so many things as an adult that we have to fulfill as well. Work, bills, responsibility, other friendships that we have to pour into,
Mm-hmm.
church, community, our other family, our extended family. It's a hard balance. But it's
You'll know. You're gonna know, and don't turn down an opportunity. So my girl came late in my life. I was almost 46 when she was born. 23 years old. I just turned 24, so she's 24 now. When I would get a call when she lived up in Tampa, I'm living down here, and she says, "Dad, you have time for coffee?" So it's just about an hour to zip up to her place.
mm-hmm.
And if I had the time open, I said, "Honey, I'll be out the door in 5 minutes." You don't turn those opportunities down. Just assume that those are heavenly assignments and seize them. You are growing the heart, in this case, my daughter. You're just growing her heart. And you can just take it to the bank that those are heavenly assignments. Just take it to the bank. Don't turn them down.